for talk about some urgent, critical national issues. Today, we will discuss Takama. We will talk about the Go Circular campaign. We will talk about public health. And we will talk about what you all need to do as citizens for the safety and security of this country. As usual, before I get to the panel, I get a few news updates what I want to go through. Today the news look small, so I will try for the possible way the show you have to work with me because I'm skip some. Okay. Number one, Minister of Information and Civic Education, go Denmark and go make a case on behalf of Africa for urge Denmark for maintain 0.7% of the gross national income commitments to global development. Denmark, one of the biggest spenders per capita on international development, and as we know, big debates there around the world now, countries in the cut foreign aid. So major organization in Denmark invites me and the minister from South Sudan as two of the ministers. They wouldn't think say go help them make the case. So I met with the Minister of Finance, Minister of Development, Foreign Affairs, all the major political parties in the parliament, and are able to secure some commitments about the impact of development and why development and security. So this be happened just last week, and a very short, I think it'll be 3-day official visits to Copenhagen. Number two, the Ministry of Fish and Marine Resource don't announce a fishing activity then non starts now again. When I remember say the ministry be put stop, say for 1 month they been close shop. I been see some people been complain online, propaganda, is bad. The fact of the matter, not so Salona the only country to do that. And today we have to talk about the environment. The evidence say when you do that, it help. Even you, the fisherman, the fisherwoman, it help the fish then and they replenish. And we don't see plenty video now. So when they resume, they go meet plenty fish. And the government will do something with a big thing as well. The government will give food and other items them to fishermen them so that they will augment them during this period. So this they will do according to the law of the country, the Fisheries and Aquaculture Act of 2018, which mandates the ministry for manage, conserve fish stock and maintain the ecosystem. So if you're a fisherman or fisherwoman, you can go fish now. Fishing season is back on. Number three, the Cyber Security Coordination Office don't start one 4-day cyber security workshop with the UK government on the Africa Cyber Project. This is not for let them make sure say then the workshop in goal and for let them do assessments and work with different stakeholders in creating the cyber security framework in this country and for address other challenges there. Ministry of Planning and IOM don't conclude one 2-day meeting on it's trying to develop a national global compact for migration implementation plan. When we say migration, one of the major issues there. So the ministry don't do this. Number 5, Ministry of Land, Housing and Country Planning don't start one exercise for reclaim Takama sanctuary land we government may not designate as a national tourist asset. We can discuss this more. This news, when a part of the news, the Marco will get there as well today for reports for the one that we don't know. The Honorable Vice President Dr. Mohamed Jole Jallo don't call on NGO them for let them position themselves for let them help for promote sustainable development of the country. He make the statement where we launch the first NGO week celebration with Slango in the Organization for NGO in the country and the Ministry of Development been come together for do. Dr. Turan Senesi, Minister of Land, don hand over a survey plan for 168-acre tract land of land for the leadership and residents in Charlotte and the Western area rural district. This now the community they asked 2 years ago, say they want to get this land for development purposes. The minister don't go through the process. They don't have that. This minister they do very good work, especially in that sector. For ensuring all man get access to land. Some of them will attend the NEEV Salon Battery Charging and Swapping Center. They take major step where they may launch the new electric vehicle business. You know, they call different people from all sectors them, and then go launch this new energy salon battery charging and swapping center. It's gonna be big news that will happen. And then on the 28th of February, along the Bo Waterside Liberia border, the UN, the government of Salon and the government of Liberia, they come together for launch a project with them called Gola RIP, Resilience, Empowerment, Access and Peace Building Project. They will bring together civil society organization then for improved border management and for promote local governance. So that thing I will tap for now for the news. But one issue they normally I can also use this platform for clarifying some issue we can do at the news. And today I get one major bit where I wish for clarifying. First, the Salon Embassy, the High Commissioner Kenya, sent me a short message, notice what I wish for read. I read them and I will give the context. The Salon High Commission na Kenya don't note false statements with the attribute to one Augustine Sori Sengbe Mara. We see personnel of the High Commission be act on the instructions of the Secretary to the President, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima, for allegedly threatening one Madam Faith Uyambo, President of the Kenya Law Society, say the government of Salon no go guarantee in safety if you travel to Salon for one event where one community-based organization where they call themselves Lawyers Society, then be organized. The High Commission, one of the public know say, that statements they with this person and make it categorically false. At no point the High Commission not discuss or receive instructions from a very distinguished Secretary to the President, and at no point the High Commission not even talk to this person for tell and say we not go assure the safety and security in Salon. The government of Salon not the inside that business day for tell peaceful citizens everyone can. If not assure, then when they organize the event here, their own safety assure. Why the one when they come? We will tell you say we will not assure you safety when a upright individual. We don't also now secure the very official communication from the lady, this individual, with the President for the Law Society of Kenya, a formal state-recognized institution, where we write to this community-based organization as Salon for telling say, you know, you can one for make the public know say inside this letter the Madam Faith Uyambo they make it clear to read the paragraph with relevance. You see, unfortunately, while I would have loved to join you in theater as earlier intended, My travel has been constrained by supervening circumstances. Consequently, I'm unable to join the session physically at this time, but will be available to join the session virtually and deliver my address to your members. I look forward to a fruitful, thought-provoking session with your members and hope that this sets the stage for future engagements between your society and the Law Society of Kenya. The Israel could take the pains for discuss this. Normally, I'm not in the business for use this platform for discuss social media banter or chatter or one especially baseless allegations against top government officials. But I also don't make a business, so we fake news they out there, we clarify and set the record straight. And in this case, we have to deal with one of the most outstanding public servants in the history of this country. Dr. Emmanuel Gaima, a governance expert, and one of the finest people there, teach a lot of we. He don't be in this business for a long time. You know, subject himself to that year. I think the people that will make that statement, they ought for no better. Because I know it's not for drag somebody name in that kind of way without any evidence. So we hope say this will put this matter to rest and then we'll advise themselves accordingly. All right. After that now, we can out to the business we can have for today. I want to take this opportunity first for welcome the very distinguished panel that we're going to have. Number one, on my left, I'm a sister, the Honorable Mima Yema Mimi Soba Stevens. We are the Deputy Minister of Environment and Climate Change. Madam Minister, we're glad you will join me today for the first time. This is a platform, and we look forward for your voice. I also get here the Executive Director for NPAA, with Mr. Thomas Faya Kamara. NPAA means National
Protected Area Authority.
I can explain. Very important. Next to me, not for the first time, I'm very privileged for getting here. Somebody I think at this stage you don't need introduction anymore. Professor General, people let me forget the general part. Fodesa, Executive Director for the National Public Health Agency. Glad to see you here. Thank you for your time. And last, but by no means least, a very good friend of the environment, a good friend of nature, a wonderful friend of Salon, who do fantastic work over the years for helping for preserve some of the national treasure there. Bala, your last name, I can't try, but I apologize in advance. The last name, Amara Sikaran. How is that? Yeah, you got it? Alright, good. So, founder and program director for Takama. I'm glad you will carry today for joining me. What I don't decide for you, and I apologize to the minister and seeking permission, is we do public health first. Because normally you there are the minister, are the most senior person, so they enforce the talk. But because within the minister they talk, now the Lady Foundation follow go into the other speaker there. I want to get quickly, Madam Minister, with your permission. Thank you very much. You are my sister, so I can take some liberties. I want to start with public health. We will declare a health emergency. We don't see images and updates about Mpox the day. We will also declare public health emergency with Kush. Recently, we also see reports come out about Kush and all these things. So, Professor, this is an opportunity for make you give an update on the public health outlook of the country. Usaudi, we come to the issue of Mpox, just give you some updates with Infambo and for no, and then on other public health issues, including Kush, we also take the time for letting you updates. Because we want for me to be comprehensive in updates, I will give you 7 minutes and see how you do with that 7 minutes. We'll get time and a half for what we don't know. the time there and when you reach 27 minutes, you will hear sound. Normally, I can leave it if you don't want text to 97 minutes. So you will just on that and then you will keep the ball going. Yes, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. At the start of the MPOX, on the MPOX issue, since the 10th of January to date, we don't register 38 cases. Of the 38 cases, nobody not died, and we don't discharge 22 home. The center now will serve the highest number of cases in the western area, urban, followed by western area, rural. The contacts them we don't actually identify for their case, and we make sure we identify contact for any case we get. So we don't like this about 406 cases contacts them, we don't like this, so they follow up, and of them 406 cases them, 366 don't complete the 21-day follow-up. Anybody who identify as a contact will follow you up for 21 days for make sure they out of the woods. And then the next level, we don't see, because we don't find out for say most of the cases they're not related to each other at all. Hence, we don't confirm say we have active community transmission. Because of that, we actually couple them up with what we call genomic sequencing and the new trend now in our way, because you got to look at what's going to happen at the genomic level. We the work with the colleagues in Dakar, and we find out for say 18 cases that we don't actually identify for it confirms say indeed the mpox virus will not circulate Sierra Leone from 1994. And it been introduced from Ivory Coast. It's a very new thing, and from last week we got this report. They introduced from Ivory Coast into Sierra Leone, and they circulate, move from person to person, and then we said export them Nigeria in 2002. And that's the phylogenetic treated way. Then in 2021, they introduced them back as Sierra Leone from Nigeria. So this circulation don't happen within the community, hence the final for say active community transmission don't happen as Sierra Leone since 2021. This is now part of a bigger picture of transmission where they happen in the West African sub-region. So not anything new for say Sierra Leone, so it happen across. Therefore, because of the trend we take, we don't decide for do certain things. And one, for make sure they will do active community engagement, for find out from house to house. Now all the communities then for look for cases then, because of London, according to the trend we tell we this virus will continue for transmit until 2028 and the prediction landing. So therefore we use all the resources available to we for make sure they will break down, will break that transmission piece. So now the activity landing, I mean the question and answers I will go more specific into waiting would they do as an organization. For the push, His Excellency, the President announced a state of emergency in April last year, and it put me as coordinator for the task force. They do very well. We don't stand up treatment center now. Freetown now. Today we just come up admit the fourth cohort of victims then. Between now and the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll stand up another treatment center now Bo for the southern region. Then we'll stand up another one at Budama. Nagaru for the eastern region, and Bombali for the northern region. So now that they do so get active case investigations, look for the one that way they get affected with with push and bring them into treatment, because this government, a responsible government, the responsibility of the people, like primarily, I mean, is close to our hearts. So therefore, we make sure that anybody where he affected may not afraid, may just reach out to we. We try for make sure they will bring that person into rehab, and we provide all the services and are free of cost. Nobody pay 1 cent, penny only pay. So on that note, some of the highlights and then the way we don't do as an organization. Thank you, sir.
So Germany, there a lot of discipline sharp, give all the headline, quick, stick to the time. So since you get a couple more minutes, make I just maybe do a quick follow-up. When I received the mpox vaccine recently, tell me what's they mean in terms of this projection we just gave for 2028 versus whether with the presence of the vaccine now. I mean, so maybe just give me an update on the vaccine, how many, and if the vaccine will help me for expedite following end and as alone before 2028.
Thank you very much, sir. The vaccine are just one of the resourceful one used for first mpox. We received 61,200 doses of the mpox vaccine, and we'll use them for give to frontline workers, people that were high-risk individuals. So that activity will start very soon, hopefully in the next one week or so. So we make sure we don't rely only on vaccine, but also on active case search into the communities. So now just one of the ways the annual one used for the mpox.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, sir. We'll come back to you. Now make a come to my sister, the Honorable Deputy Minister. Madam Minister, last week and the week before, you spent some time, the lead on a campaign they call Go Circular campaign. Today, I want me to take time for explain to family what's in the campaign they want, why Ministry of the Environment believe in and they champion this campaign, and what people for expect on this specific campaign. You said we have 7 minutes, Madam.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you so much. First of all, I want to say I'm glad for being on this platform because I've always look forward for a way for make people to understand what we really do in the environment, ministry, and all that. For the Go Circular, first of all, I want to say Go Circular was very, very successful. And we're glad for first of all the turnout and the results we were able to get out of that. For example, we make sure it was 1 week and every day in a different people in different sectors. And Go Circular about how we therefore manage with plastic in the country for reuse and recycle and reduce plastic in the country. So what do we do first of all? We don't start last year. Now the Ministry of Tourism is started. But when we attend last year, I see say we can use this platform for really make people understand the kind of problem with plastic don't cause in the country and how we as Sierra Leoneans, citizens of this country, can champion and get rid of. Because until when I was a creator, not a God made, not man made. So making your people decide to come together and solve that problem. So I decided to, I tell the World Bank and SLED and RESLP, I say, why we don't just make this something when a yearly event? So that every year we raise this kind of awareness that people will begin to understand and see. And then one day we don't begin to comply. Let me give them our just to encourage them, if they don't say yes, they don't the right start or make sure see this country go great. Now, we do 7 days, we do 5 days. The day one, which we do, we call most of the ministries. For example, the Minister of Education, we did, Fisheries, we did, Tourism, we did, even Maritime, we did, and Ministry of Finance, they all we did. So, because what you make we do that, we say, now we call the policy makers then, for them talk on the implementation and importance of this Go Circular. Then the two, we decided let we launch the 2 associations then we already formed, but they're not launching. So we officially launched them because they're very key for help for managing plastic business. That now one, the Sierra Leone Association, Waste Management Association, we launched another day. And if I may also be did can give you the support. Then the National Recyclers Association, they said we launched them that day. Because then today I still need for work together. We do whether they collect, waiting for happen to that waste day, especially in plastic day. We need people that way who can take them and turn them to wealth and create jobs with them. So we find the them today are so very key, and we launch them the same day, and honor me gladly for that. And at the same time, we use the opportunity for connect also, make them really work together, the network, and know themselves, and know see, I can't do without you, you can't do without me. So this is how we institution we all come together and work. Then we also get one other company we call this a Debunk. If I don't create an app, this app is very interesting. This app, it just sounds like a way they take money in a bank. And what this app they do, what they don't do. When you want they go for work with the waste management team, the association, and any other person willing into waste management, not necessarily just the association, but yes, some people they wouldn't even register with that. So then they work with them one day, then they connect with them. So if you've been at the host, you can download this app here soon on your phone. And any phone, absolutely, not necessarily Android phone. There, if you don't go up to button phone, for make sure say online get able to access the service. So you download that in there, and then you connect to the service provider within your locality, and then ask them for make them come, call them, and then they will come, they can collect your data, and then you pay through using that same app. That's what you did one. So that one they will be able to connect all them people that did that day. Then day 3, we decide for launch the Green Label Initiative scheme. We not for them hotels, them restaurants, them beach bars, them any other part there now. We didn't that space there. And when we launch them, we make sure we create a lot of incentives that we EPA and NTB, the National Tourist Board, they come up with some benefits and with the hotels that will benefit if they decide for all plastic free. Then we also, the 4, we bring together the beach communities. We bring together the Mahera Beach, we bring together the Lovely Beach, Bue Beach, and all other beach there, we did Hamilton Beach, all the beach there. Because we know how plastic don't lot to be beach there. So bring them together for we can talk about 2 things there. One, the plastic pollution. How we get for hair for clean we beach there. And secondly, we're also very key how we get for protect we beach from sand mining. So there people, their communities they will come. They talk a lot, they all my benefits. In fact, number 2 beach we did. Then now we case study. Because then they protect the beach. Then nobody know they go mine any beach. And secondly, when you want to enter number 2, you they pay for food. So that they use our money for clean the beach, for keep the beach clean and make them, eco-friendly. We tourists they glad for good, even we Sierra we glad for good, relax day and make shows they, especially when Christmas or festive seasons. Then we decided day 5, we allocate that to the plastic leadership platform. Also, we get the ministries of finance. If I find ministry of finance, we host them. The Ministry of Finance, we did it. The local governments, we did it. We get tourism, we did it. There's a minute, sorry, don't listen to both. So they all we did it. And we also get other stakeholders, they did it back. We get the World Bank, we did it. We get other NGOs, for example, the BHA schools, we did it. And of course, the public, we did it. Online, we did it. So we sit down, we talk on a lot of things there. We talk about how we get for move this year and before. In 2025, we try to map out certain things. So not only we actually do for the Go Circular business.
Madam Minister, thank you. Since I may not add 2 minutes, so I'll follow up with you. One big question about the Go Circular campaign, by the way, very impressive initiative. The idea, circular means for go through a circle, so it's you use, and they end up in the waste, we process and back it down, and it means so they live in a more sustainable way. So instead of they continue to buy new things every day, they deplete the environment, we go circular, the same thing we use. The big question people in the ask Minister is, what if we not they just follow the example of countries like Rwanda and many others now across Africa, and just ban plastic? And whether as part of this campaign, they work towards getting to a place where government just provide a policy incentive, say, we're not only for use plastic. Why not?
Well, I mean, say we'll get it gradually. It's a process. You don't say anything we do, just like we born picking. That picking there for teaching, for so, land for tina, land for sidom, land for crawl, land for tina, and then begin land for waka. So it's a process. We don't just can't all of a sudden say we ban plastic. Because one, it's difficult for people to go buy the idea. So you gotta sell the idea to people. Many people don't understand.
If not ban, plastic no dey.
When they will begin to undercover, and then that's it now all kinds of things will happen. So what do we decide for do? There is a law really come.
Okay.
And that law they will pass on a parliament this year.
Inshallah. Well, me talk as an individual now, personally. The environment in challenge organizers alone is huge, and plastic is one of the worst things for the environment in this country. Most of the waste and the dirty they happen on the beach, they threaten ecosystem, they threaten lifestyle because of plastic. So I join now. I want to tell you thank you for the leadership you play in this, your minister as well, but the Minister of Information as well. They would fully and support for loan and work gradually, quick, no ban plastic now.
Well, just before you come out to me, I just want to say a quick thing. You know, one of the things that we make back, we decided to say, no ban plastic completely. Yes. Because it creates also wealth, it creates employment for people. Then the recyclers are interested for sewage and the makers of plastic.
Yeah.
So that they make back now we create jobs for people.
Okay. Well, thank you. So now, we stick to environment, but with the transition. And this time as well, at the switch, typically how I do it. Normally, I would go to the government side, and then I go to the private sector side. But today, I want to start with Bala. Because, Bala, I think as I know, they call him the chimpanzee man. He left the chimpanzee and taking the chimpanzee in one fever now. Because the people of this country don't know him. As years ago, some of them don't know, Balamoto Saloya Ibon, he can't work. He gets this in contact with one green chimpanzee, and he realizes huge issue there. The chimpanzee and they at risk. And that risk, it means we they at risk. Because if we lose wildlife, we lose, then we treasure animal again, it affects we all in ways most people don't really understand. The one that we study scripture, they can say, no love, no day we create because somebody they left in life for other person. This man here, he left in life. He can't sit down here. He don't dedicate years of his life. The government don't recognize him, support him some way, for build Takama, for get a reserve, they will help me big ways. Keep the reserve, the environment, the life, tourism, everything we talk about tourism, who go across the country. Sometimes we don't get nothing for sure, but to say Takugama. And that's because of one person in sacrifice. As a Sierra Leonean, as the Minister of Information, the government spokesman, I want to say thank you for the work you do. And that make me, as you know, fully support, but the person who supports you pass we all. And His Excellency, President Julius Malabio. We don't take on himself personally for champion this campaign, for save Takugama, for save the chimps, for save wildlife, and for stop them people will try for encroach and threaten all the life there. So, but I want you 7 minutes for them to tell me a little bit about why Takama important and paints the picture to family of these threats on the land, on the area, and waiting that threats they mean, how it affects not just the chimpanzee in their life, the Zavo already, but we all life as well as a people. I just want to help set the scene, and then I will come over to NPA for them to talk about the execution, because how they protect that land and way to make this important for government. So over to you, sir.
Thank you, Chairman, and the rest of you here. First of all, I want to clear the air about one statement Minister said, government and private sector. Bala is not from the private sector. I am government also. I was given this task 30 years ago to establish a sanctuary for the government with a memorandum of understanding between government and myself. And with that, I have run this place for 30 years. There is nothing at Takama that belongs to Bala. It's not an NGO. It's 100% government agency. But I decided at some point I will dedicate my time to give something back to this country that gave me home. I was not born here. I come over from far place, a place called Sri Lanka. This makes 47 years in Sierra Leone. And I have run Takama for 30 years. And you'll be happy to note that I'm very proud of something. 30 years I ran a project for the government of Sierra Leone without $1 budget line. So that shows again that what you can do for your country. It's not everything is about what country can do for you. Sometimes it's about that. So for me, it's like a passion. It became into some sort of thing that I want to leave a legacy behind, and that's the reason I've, continue to do what I'm doing. So when you say Takama, when I say I'm a government servant like the minister, it is like I help the government in many ways I could. One thing I do is support the tourism sector. The sanctuary was established to be an orphanage to implement the wildlife laws that the government will get. But they're not really able to implement them because they never get a place to sabotage. They rescued confiscated animals from traffickers and pet owners and things like that. So they established the orphanage. But with time I decided that just an orphanage is not going to make a difference. We need to transform the institution into a conservation project, a program. This is what I've been doing over 30 years. I'm proud that at least we worked on chimpanzee conservation for 30 years, and 4 or 5 years ago, His Excellency felt with all the line ministries to even give more prominence to this particular species because it's an endangered species. It's very rare. Sierra Leone has the second largest population of the western chimpanzee. So this is something we can help the tourism industry so much. If you look at Rwanda, the amount of money they make out of gorilla tourism, why shouldn't we dream of something like that for Sierra Leone? So I stood by Ministry of Tourism to see what we can do to increase the tourism potential for this country. And I'm very proud to say if you go to any search engine and look for Sierra Leone, Takama will come up as the #1 choice of place for you to visit. That's one. But I'm even more proud of something I've done over 30 years, is to protect the Congo Dam and the Takama catchment. I don't know how many people realize all these mountain communities, even all the way to SS Camp, all the way down to Hill Station, water comes from Takama. That is your prime source. If Takama was not established and if I didn't fight all these years for 30 years to protect that place, there won't be any water there. Right now, if you speak to Gumawali, they will tell you they have completely damaged the Sugarloaf catchment. There is hardly any water coming into the tanks from there. The only water source you have to send it to Barbadori to treat it and send it to all these people, nearly 200, 300,000 people depend on this water. And if not for Takama, you would have lost both Congo Dam and Takama Dam by now. Because when I first stepped into that place, it was a charcoal pit. Everywhere there was charcoal burning. We closed over 500 active charcoal pits over 30 years. And we planted trees throughout, and we even allowed some natural regeneration over the years. That is how we managed to save that. But at the moment, I mean, as you know, there's a lot of problems, there's a lot of things in the news in terms of the catchment is being burned down, a lot of encroachment taking place. So we are at a very difficult situation. Whether are we still valuing what we have created over 30 years? If it is, what kind of protection we can give to this place? How do we go about re-establishing the glory we had? When I first moved in there was no settlement, there was nothing. 30 years, there was nothing. Only some invaders will come in to burn charcoal or cut wood, they run away. That's it. Then, as you know the history, you had it was a Western Area Forest Reserve at that time, when government allowed me to go and set up this together with the Ministry of Agriculture Forestry at that time. Then, 12 years ago, government, with all our work, with other campaigners, other conservation organizations, they realized Freetown is under threat without the water source. The water comes from the mountains. That is how 12 years ago it went through Parliament and they declared it as a national park. That means it came with some higher laws in terms of protecting it. And when they created this national park, they also created a buffer zone, 1 mile all the way up to the Grafton Highway. And National Protected Area Authority and Ministry of Forestry at that time, they put pillars all over to say, this is a buffer zone, nobody should go in, because it is to preserve the sanctuary and to preserve the catchment. That is your major catchment. But with time, with all the lawlessness, they broke all the pillars and they kept coming up further and further. Now it has got to a point, they're damaging all around that place. And that is how I think the news went to even His Excellency, and I think he took it as a priority in terms of bringing some sanity there. And I think he got the security apparatus and the agencies like NPA, EPA, they all got involved to see how we can fix it. So what is going on there? There's a lot of misconception, Bala, Takama. It's nothing to do with me. I am doing work for the government, and there are government agencies who have undertaken this job, the ongoing thing at the moment. It is basically, there are 2 areas. And also one thing you need to know, 1.5 years ago, Ministry of Lands carved out the buffer zones, and they mapped out and they handed it over to Ministry of Tourism. And they declared it as a TDA, that is a tourism development area, and no one should go there. So whatever is going on now, it is between the security apparatus, the agencies that have been created, they are trying to bring back sanity into that area. It's got nothing to do with Takama or Bala, just to want to clear that. I'm doing this for all Sierra Leoneans and for our next generation.
Thank you very much, Bala. We are grateful to you for your service to Salone. And as you say, we clarify it's not a private sector and government owned. All Bala do is a labor of love. As you say, that place is so important. The way you preserve the sanctuary, then you could get water over there. Even clean water for all drink. If they may not left here now, all man will be who's the water on the air again. They could all suffer. You know, so very important. So you waiting and also with the watch, we pay attention to this. We get person with a billionaire. We try for people like the person waking up morning while they will all die. One kill me. They are on a big day, they don't kill me. They are left for 1 day after so picking on 1 day they are back. Mr. Thomas Takama, National Protected Area Agency. We see video, by the way, very good video. The ministry will decide for share that video for as well, so people will see. You got big caterpillar. It's about today. It broke, people was another example for the sets now. For Solomon, he believes they will encourage language you get. He said, what's your bills? They make good car. Man, they look pink, dry, go bills. But in this case, like Abala said, the first gentleman present, you give a very clear order. I want to address how they go about this campaign, explain to people why it's important, specifically for Takama. But I also want to address that law talk about other protected areas in the country. Because we get many protected areas that people don't continue for violate. So what's your role in that? Talk about the steps the owner they take so far. You say get 7 minutes, sir.
Family, good afternoon. I'm glad you're there today. My Honorable Minister, I thank you for giving me the opportunity, and I will also look forward for more opportunities for me to come educate Sierra Leoneans about conservation. We made a go school here. I carefully choose this path. I left for England. I continue with this because I get passion for the environment. I get passion for biodiversity. I come, President Duncan give me the assignment now. 82 above 1 year. But I tell God thank you. I think we don't do plenty thing. In the first place, the National Protected Area Authority, they may create first in 2012 with clear mandate, and then review through the Act of Parliament, then review this Act 2022 before they come. So now this Act 90 MPAA the power for make it go protect and manage the landscapes we were supposed for keep. For we now, we begin them, and then you begin them tomorrow. Then protected areas, so we get them right to the country. Like the minister said, we get for can't talk about them. We get about 8 terrestrial ecosystems that are dry lands. Then we get 7 wetland ecosystems that are wetlands. Then swamp, of course not all kinds of swamp, because we get IPS, inland valley swamps. Then swamps then for like agriculture. We have specific wetlands where then we mangroves then where then we own concern in terms of protection. But make I dwell first on the Western Area Peninsula. The Western Area Peninsula are one of those 15 protected areas, or in other words, one of those 8 terrestrial ecosystems of the country, where they under the purview, under the supervision and management of the National Protected Area Authority. Family then, any country not able to protect in biodiversity and associated cultural resources and manage them in a more sustainable way, that country not grow.
Bushfire, illegal encroachment.
This thing, I don't talk about not to new thing.
The forest will surround the beating out of
anytime we get interviews, anytime we get
all the good
opportunity for talk,
where we can benefit.
I tell my fellow Sierra Leoneans and say, we need for manage the biodiversity well.
According to one report by the World Food Program,
and the one that we then get for carbon,
5,000
we get for past bond or something they will for that for
December
we
2023 and
if
March.
you don't do that one day, we begin and we blame we tomorrow.
That's now about 700.
What did they happen at Takama now? Not to new
over 4,000
activity or action or operations in new.
That's not about 5,000.
We start this operation from April last year.
Forest we don't left now, now about 18,000 hectares.
And we get with demolition plan.
Anyhow,
We for continue throughout.
nothing, no go left.
Then we can end up with Takogama. What do you mean? We just feel say for take care of Takogama now, because the level of encroachment is too high. Bushfire is too high, and we get valuable resource to that landscape. We now we national animal, we charismatic species. We now the chain. When fire they come, then the fed for men then go jump over the fence. Would I go see fire it man? Fire, they see fire, although we not get from each, but then you see and say this fire will come so they come now we area. Then the fed for men then go jump over. Now as you say then change and they jump over then fence then. How we go there? how we go there at home here? People that will begin call on government. Government help will die. Without them first will begin call now Charlotte and region communities. So that panic when they go through the city, you know what's responsible. So government they take proactive steps.
For the first time ever,
when NPAA don't get series of complaints
2025
about the spate of bushfire,
this dam not
about the spate of encroachment,
even one cup water, no did
the management of Takama
problem. And
called for more reinforcement
inside the forest
and send more
sets fire near the dam,
forest guards, additional forest guards to make a deploy.
Anytime when people
but see the country I think what makes it different soldier now because they get gone because I call them Leone army, NPAA army, because they're not get gone, they don't respect themselves. They don't respect them at all.
Two other landside them they happen near the tech.
And our women's arena they do say they are government workers.
That's a good side for make people them.
They are government workers and are then lawful duty. Then they execute.
Everlasting scar of mortality.
Next arena they don't say these are government workers.
People still
they're supposed to be respected. If you do not respect them, when I not respect the leadership, when I'm in at the head, me Thomas Takama as the head of NPA in this country.
So anything can happen next.
And by extension, when I not respect government,
serve as shield again.
so that not just small as outside the team waiting.
Now inside the water bin there.
We do it because the government order, executive order. So if you see within Takama, and for me, we able for protect the environment, for UNA, and for we begin them, and for then you begin the for do you want to support government for help protect the natural resources in this country for tomorrow?
Like during the season. Drought and bushfire during dry season.
Thank you very much, Mr. Thomas Fire Kamaya. That's all get your army. You want army. We get the use. A very important point that we for respect the environment, respect government officials ready for enforce the land, the law, and this now law is very, very important to assist. We get a set of videos that will on the show in the background. One is a video of Takama, where Mr. Balai and team make available to me. We play them before, they play them throughout. We get an English and Creole version, we make them available to the media as well. In a report, we include them. We can share it to all my media on our WhatsApp group, so we will use them as well in the media. We also get video of the school circular campaign, part of which in Luna Beach. And one of the videos on see just now. We will go and do it, and then when they're not done, how they left the beach really well clean. We'll get images of that as well. We will make available to all for make get access to them. Before we come to follow up, we ask questions. As usual, we get a few questions that come online. So I want to ask the question really quickly. We get the response, and then we'll come to Una to make ask. Mr. Protected Area. The question say, what's if you sit down, una wait, say people are mobile, now protected area before they take action. It's now somebody sent this question online 22 hours ago. The other question say, what's in the plan for protect the land that we said they don't build structure them, or I don't demolish them. Say because when I go and I go demolish and commodity as well, commodity will come back. You can build. So 1, 2 questions. One, let's sit down, people that go build force, land protected. Why this one animal there, soldier man they won't get? They know they just proactively protect. 2, go demolish. What do they do for make sure they don't go again? Madam Minister, the question is every year you celebrate Go Circular. What's not the strategy for letting you maintain this campaign? With the World Bank money not done. Me and Nicky don't easy question. And your job. The people of this country they get voice to this platform. Any Sierra Leonean they send question. 818. The commitment to I get now send 1,000 questions, they read all. All they read there, they ask the panelists them. Because that's a democracy. Finally, question, I think this question is still not for protected area. Or maybe I think Balaki will comment. He say, if disconnect day between protected area, Ministry of Lands and Forest, say nothing but like so are connected. But this they go so, this they go so, this they go so. Say if I get network connection. I know, for you the question can. So since you get one question, let Minister first answer. Madam Minister, how would they ensure the maintenance of this really do not know?
Thank you very much. Well, first of all, we try to raise awareness for make we people to understand the cleanliness is a part of godliness. And as we want a man, where God make we say make we in an image, and God now God will let clean. And make it say he has to clean. So we say self as God in image for enjoy for in a clean place. So now that make we raise the awareness for let people to understand, say therefore take ownership. You know, interestingly, Mr. Minister, we get a national pledge where they say we for take pride, not also. Now we country for put country interest first above everything. And one of the things that we wanted to understand is not for just read and cite the national pledge, but now we begin to look at the words, which they mean, and how we can live by them words. If you go offline people, they Mr. Minister, and every day, government they come for country, you hardly see plastic, even though they drink, they don't begin with plastic water, maybe. But you don't see a scatter. Because when they clean, all man they clean front in front here. All man they clean front. If we say 7 and 8 begin implement the kind of thing, we begin clean with front here. Because some man they always see them clean inside the compound. What if we have to be any fence now? It's not government. We know they take pride for clean even beyond the fence. And make sure see them with water the only before we clean. And see people they say, well, what person want eat plastic? Say, hey, we'll not eat plastic, we'll take a crowd, we'll go in another put another. You know. But having said that, we as government, what do we try for doing at the ministry? One, now for institutionalize the framework that now the plastic policy we get for pass into law. And inside here, we get the governance structure, we the Ministry of Environment, they take the lead. And we also get EPA, where they get for house the secretariat for which is inside a plastic building, policy there. Not the number when they do in collaboration with the local government, so all the councils they get for daily. They also get for in collaboration with the National Tourist Board as well. And then also the plastic also create plastic platforms there who are established in all the districts and go already don't know 1.5 tons. Then secondly, we also try to make sure we get financial sustainability. That now we face the rent taxes the way where we generate government generates from the plastics as I say the policy here for all that. Then the importance of plastics and then taxes the way they get for they pay, how we get for redirect them money then for help them the plastic business today. And also their tax and we also this other policy they also talk about for the authority for the one that we sell the plastic manufacturers and the users, the sellers and the business they for actually negotiate that amount we get from it. So now all next day we look and see the windows.
Minister be ready for this question. Well, ask the question is we know ready for a detailed answer. Thank you very much, Madam Minister. Yes, sir, Mr. Takama, I'll go quickly on that question a little bit. To allow time for in 3 minutes to take enough questions today. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Minister. If you ask the question when they come with, then require for detailed explanation. Anyway, I'm a summarizer. I will keep on short. The first one say, why make MPA then they don't take people that bill first before they take action? I tell an answer from them. President they give you appointment for make you go fix the problem within another office. Now fix me, they fix now. A little above 1 year, now I don't take. From throughout this 1 year to go the one also, now fix, I don't fix. I tell when I say April 30 last year, now begin demolition exercise. Right through the peninsula. This is not just emergency. Emergency. Now we left that side. We got to go back. Okay, Takama. I call it emergency. So now fix me the fix. And I will fix the go. As long as I am working for Sierra Leoneans, and many I'm glad many Sierra Leoneans appreciate the happen, I will fix the go. The other one, we get plans for the other protected areas in other countries, in other parts of the country. We don't even dredges like the Otamakilimi National Park. People they go with dredges, and dredges nothing we will not like at all. It pollute the water, it destroy the environment, it destroy even the fishes who get the freshwater fishes species who get now we water them. So that one we run the cage and bomb. We get a whole store now Otamakilimi National Park. Hold on back then day. Apart from that one day, we get other Loma and waiting that. So
the question is
yes.
Who now don't demolish? What should I do for make sure say people can be back?
I like that question. I see with the demolished so with the rules we call restoration ecology. We get look at native tree species, we get for plant at the end of the day, so that you know go good again. And we get natural regrowth where the forest can go through. Rainy season, they go with green back.
So address this disconnect one, because one of the questions that we want texter send now we 818 number say when then people are already busy, say some of them they even get paper. Say they go Ministry of Lands, they get paper, they give them some director somewhere, sign them, and will be busy. So this disconnect question, maybe comment on that.
Now fix or they fix. Now fix or they fix.
Yes, I don't say.
I fix or they fix. I made plenty of them things that don't happen, but we don't get an understanding in the Ministry of Lands. Before then they give anybody paper, then they send to the Executive Director, National Protected Area Authority, and they send the experts and the GIS, let them go check that landscape if it fall within we mandate. If it fall within we mandate, we can always advise, you know, we're not going to forgive you now. If
so una need court order for book?
No.
So was GPS tell you say this fall with
you broke.
Una can talk about that. Oh, I don't come to Balaku to let us comment on this. And then I will come to that question. Bala, just talk to us about. I think I'm familiar with some of the frustrations because I have the privilege of speaking to you about these issues sometimes. But we just had Mr. Takama talking about admitting that there's a, I think we can admit there's an entrenched problem in terms of, how we allocate lands. So, but also to be fair to Ministry of Lands, for people who live go under UK, yeah, as well. The minister not know about it and all that thing. So talk about that disconnect, which you don't see, and what's in it for video, quickly.
Yes, I think regarding what
2 minutes.
I understand what the head of NPA said about fixing. Fixing can be in two different ways. It can be short-term fixing. There is also long-term fixing. There has to be permanent fixing. The problem that we don't, it's about, we are becoming agencies or a ministry where we are known for breaking houses or bad bodies. Where are the prosecutions? That is where we are failing. If somebody goes and burns a forest that is within the national park, where is the prosecution? Somebody goes and builds a house within the tourism development.
Now, would I get the duty for prosecute? Any of the agencies on
they all have the mandate to do that. NPA has the mandate, EPA
so
has the mandate.
NPA can, yes. EPA can,
okay. Of course, yes. So that is what is lacking. We are just breaking, but we are not following up. If there is somebody gave a paper from ministry which was a fictitious paper, right? Why are we not removing that person signing? We are just telling him, oh, it goes away, then another one signs. So we are not setting examples in a way it can become a deterrent. People know that you break this law, there is a penalty, you will be paid. That is what is missing. We are breaking families, we are breaking houses, but that's not a permanent solution. It's not today. This has been going on for 30 years. Several presidents have helped me to break Pan-Korean houses over 30 years. But it's still happening because we haven't prosecuted even one person. That is the problem. Till we get to that, that is why, don't forget, all of you know, when the new Ministry of Environment was formed, there was even an environmental court was established. Where is that? Why we didn't continue with that? Because the environmental court was established so that they can fast track these cases, so that we can quickly attend to these things. And I also feel sorry for some of these people. They fall in the trap, they are given a fictitious paper, and they go and build. And it's the hard-earned money they're using to build something. Then they come and break it. Because you're giving somebody a paper in an area where you shouldn't be giving. Then you go and break that person's house. You know what I mean? It is wrong. As for, if I'm a private citizen, I'll be angry about it. There are a lot of problems around it.
Takama, I think we'll get to the journalists when they ask questions. Who will come with the answer the next round? I'll show you the question. You are guessing. So last year, we walked out the question.
What do you mean investment capital?
You know how it starts. The first time it starts $1 million. Yeah, or nature. Number one, number two. You want to go? Number three, number four, number five, grammar school. Alright.
Siba.
Yes. My name is Mahmoud Silla from the Leone newspaper. Firstly, Professor, what will you tell the people of Sierra Leone the amount of support from the donor partners in the fight against mpox? That is one.
Wait, almost donor the Lodi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then FDA. Are you telling me that you are only fixing the problem when the proposal was made by the former Minister of Environment that he is going to deploy military officers to ensure that the national protected area or the national park be protected? Why does it take so long when it comes to the MPA to implement that pronouncement that was made by the former Minister, Professor Fodemoriba Jawad? Why does it take long to ensure that this is implemented?
All right, thank you. Thank you. Next.
Takama from New City newspaper. Mr. Minister of Information requested a director to a couple of weeks back. The Vival said the Inspector General of Police for the periodic update about how the preliminary investigation will go. So I want to get back about a year ago. They intercept 20 cartons of 225 tramadol and the Sierra Leone. Now the freedom airport now, what they call the airport back there. Since that investigation they video, we don't know who that sent them or who that for the receiver. Done at the twilight of last year, then we intercept another push factory now so partner Allentown. That investigation will be on up till now. We don't know who that ended manufacturer, whose IS then they make, or the would be some of the effect anything that Then we come back to this cocaine scandal. Up till now, we don't even know as a nation the Dutch citizen where they are let's say if at all like a mistake of identity or another individual. Done, but the Guinean, the sacked Guinean ambassador, you know, to the investigation we not able to know whether the 7 suitcases or so I start to be corrected of the utility vehicle if at all not true or just like me agree. So I just wanted to light on that the way the IG know do well.
Thank you. Number 3, over there.
My name is Jaffa Davis from Radio Democracy. My first question they go to Mr. Bala. I want to know how you would describe government work for protecting coastal area, the hills and the mountaintop, as part of the environmental plan for protected area. Then also to the EPA. The question is
NPAA.
Okay, NPAA. The question is with regards to the question where one other texter from online asked about when I only react to waiting they tell now about when and how we will demolish. With specific time, if one gets a sector plan of how we want to protecting the country, the protected areas, when and how we want to work.
Yes.
Thank you. Next. I think it's the lady.
What happened there? Good afternoon, everyone. Leone was the moderator of Chakonte and had a report for the Women's Voice newspaper. The first question we go to Mr. Kamala. Yes. It's on the talk about encroachment because I watched an interview where they interview one man where construct a building and he say, even near the site two side when they say for demolish and don't cost spend thousands for build that building. What are they try for us case? Because me no say una not compensate them people here. I stand to be corrected. Okay. And another thing is most of the perpetrators they find out from the Ministry of Land. So I want to know how una they collaborate with the Ministry of Lands for end this. And secondly, the question they go to the Deputy Minister of Climate Change. Last week, FCC launched the second phase of the Climate Change Action Fund, where they give thousands of dollars. So how will they collaborate with them for at least help for build plant trees not only for deforested areas and at return? Let me question that.
Good afternoon, everybody. Me na Alan Campbell, and me na indigene of Bathurst Village. The question I will ask, Mr. Bala, personally between me and him, one thing, we give me lifts. Don't tell me about awareness. Properties, in that place, some of the properties that are privately owned properties. I felt bad for us to be described as encroachers. With me personally, I born at that village and I live in Mamabon. And I want to make you understand, see, there is a distinction between Takama and Congo Valley. And who side them who stand in this one at Congo Valley. Now, my question what I will ask. Waiting una go do for the people them where they don't begin broke their host, because as far as me concerned, we think say they need to be engaged. Secondly, nobody will tag me as a talk. I'm a peaceful and respectful citizen. I have documents of a property, legal documents there. And I believe say it is the responsibility of the government for support indigenes or locals for letting them improve their business. If I have a business that is in line with ecotourism and waiting I want to do so, and I get documents from a place, would you encourage me to move on with that business? Because I have engaged Ministry of Culture and Tourism and told them that I want to do orchard with guest houses where they in line with waiting Mr. Bala do. Would they encourage me as a citizen of this country for make a work in that line, for improve my own personal life and for create job for people living in the village?
Thank you. All right, we get some really interesting questions here. We can't try for answer them. Sharp. Only with time. So we'll do one more round, okay? We got some very, very good questions, huh? All right, so Madam Minister, your question now be about how to collaborate with FCC also. It's another question I never again I have for you. So yes, are you on that day? That not be the only one for you also? Okay, so take that quickly.
Well,
you have any question, you can say. Yes.
Well, first of all, the ministry will work with local governments. That is number one. As I say, with the plastic business, we work with local governments. So not just FCC, now with all the other councils as well. But each council also gets in your own way instead they do. So if FCC then gets money for go plants, they will go plant trees then. Definitely, that's part of what we expect all local councils they will take up the tax for plant trees then. So in terms of collaboration, ministry to ministry now we collaborate. And then when it comes down to we arms now, all man they do what it is supposed to do, because once we don't collaborate at the top, then it disseminates down to the bottom. Yeah.
Thank you. Professor, nature one know almost money do know them don't spend for feds, mpox, and salon.
Yes, let me start with basics. Primary responsibility for mpox by government. All other possibilities.
Please, allow me first to send person out. And if we guess they talk, somebody they talk, I will be forced to send you out. Please.
So the government responsibility, and government I take a lead for actually provide resources for this fight against mpox. All other partners then are support them, support government. And definitely in our engagement, both national and international organizations, some really feel comfortable like we can talk, say, so they don't support government. However, we operate a transparent institution. So if you are on one-to-one, we will share that with you, but we can talk about government. But definitely the primary responsibility and government and the take lead. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Takama, you get a few questions. One, why did it take on so long? You see, after the declaration by the last environment minister, for let you do the thing that we're supposed to do for fix this problem. You don't say about fix. And then the other question is, if you get sector plan specifically for fix this issue. And then the other question concerning, I think Fatima question concerning compensation. They want to book them also compensates them, and then also work and collaborate with the Ministry of Lands, particularly in this way. So go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. In the first place, like I just left down here quickly, like I say, under my leadership, MPA don't begin jail people with interact negatively with the environment. So make I clear that one day. As I'm talking to you, somebody is running a jail term up country for negatively interacting with the landscape, automatically national landscape, for dredge mining. So don't clear that one day. As I'm also talking to you now, most of the grabbers, I can tell that they fed me garden. They are not armless, peaceful workers that affect them. Even where the very Takama, the one they were sent from there, they will deploy the additional troop. They fed one, the whole chainsaw, they fed her. They try to seize the chainsaw, they won't know. The case right now, the police don't charge the matter. Therefore, appear court this morning, therefore, may I go, they're not invite her. So these are small things where I don't do, where I don't take over. Before now, we're not going to get any case like that, of course. But I don't know what you know they happen before me they come. What do you mean I tell them I say, me they fix? Now because plenty things don't go bad before they come. And when they send you the problem where they did, you forgot fix them. And when President said me, I forgot fix whatever problem they did. So that don't clear. If the minister don't make pronouncement from last year, it have been Professor Jawad, and a long time before me they come. So when we don't come, all which I meet bad, and they try for handle. So I'm not be doing any pronouncement, so not to take me too long, okay? Me don't come. When I just support me in this country, make I manage the natural resources for now, make I manage the environment. If they talk about land,
sector plan. Okay, don't know your land part.
All right, sector plan. These are administrative documents that we put together for maybe go manage we protected areas in a more efficient manner. One of those plans now, regulations. Regulations, of course, they review some of them. We get them more robust when they go hold in present day context. So that's what we are on. Like I said when I came, the Act 2012 was reviewed and accented by President. That's what we are working on now. So there are a lot of reform measures I have put in place. Let me address the question for Madam. Lands, of course, even in this demolition exercise, lands they go to identification. Lands that are responsible for that because then get the coordinate, then get every other area. And then we do identification for say this for go, this for go, this for go. They go do notification to the occupants that you are in our landscape. From we geo landscape park, you are in our landscape. We say we notify when I say do you when I get for move come where lands don't say when I get inside. We give them time. I can always get community engagement. And each time when I get community engagement, the communities and they say, although they can't move with but waiting executive to talk to me. It don't make me hard on call. Right through the communities in the peninsula. So even with that wire, now so we can sit on this with the jokes, what you talk to me, we don't talk to we don't gladly. So therefore, there are those measures, lands that are identified, we will notify. If we fall within and the structure don't become demolished. If you get legal paper where lands may give you, not to when I say legal, not to where you go and check in at the system, you know the deal. When you go and check in at the system, you did it. Lands will get in your way, how it is.
It. Okay.
Run, yeah?
Alright, thank you. I think we already addressed parts of the border question. Because one, I think Ministry of Lands put out a press release saying you will get legitimate paper the day in the process of verifying. So the claim what you make as a community or a private land over time, if we're able to support that claim, we go. Clearly the conversation about them. I think you said would deny and say because we care about the they say encroachers and all that. Many encroachers. But while the video very clear, you look at the images of videos of it today, it's huge. So that way I think it's clear, but now we get legitimate paper, and I think Bala mentioned say they even get concern for private citizens where they don't already buy the land, where they don't get the land for years, through legitimate means. So no one try for use that issue for undermine legitimate facts. Because this is a fact where they deal with your survival, we all will survival. So I think this question of engaging the community, you're right, it's something that we don't just then say it's been done. And then the second part of the question around business. If you as a local and your incentive for creates your business, I think as long as you follow the laws of Salon, we're supposed for supports that. We're supposed for going local content, of course, and we're supposed for people for do that. So I think follow the right steps for do that day in terms of getting the necessary clearances and sitting down with even the Minister of Tourism, the Minister of Lands. I'm sure that people that we like for listening, the idea that we talk about, but they're very legitimate ideas. But there was a very direct question for you about how you will assess government's role with GAMPA. Can I be the question again? Yes, you see, how you will assess government's role with GAMPA. I think Jaffa asked for protect the coastal protected areas. How you see government involved? Go ahead.
I think first of all, one of understand say Bala na western area forest is still within. I no get mandate to go do anything about coastal area. I no get that mandate. You get National Protected Area Authority, and then they manage the wetlands there. You get EPA, get several laws. So I think that question will go to them, and they will address that. I think that the question came from radio democracy. So that's clear. You need to address the institutions. And the other one, my fellow Regentonian from grammar school, your concerns are very valid, sir. I think what is important, like what the minister said, now they have asked everybody to go with the paper, they should look at it. And if you have a genuine claim, and they have given you a paper genuinely, and I think, I mean, just like any other citizen, probably government will compensate you. I don't doubt about that. But if it was something done in a dubious way, that's also happening sometimes. You may be somebody from Bathurst, you have a genuine paper. There are other land grabbers who have come into that area using the community to get some fictitious papers. I've seen all kinds of papers. But you also have a right, just like a citizen. Once that area has been declared as a TDA, a tourism development area, ministry must look at every application to see. If you want to go to something, you want to have your orchard, you want to have something, why shouldn't you do that? I think that is for the ministry to look at that and do that. And I would be happy to see some indigenous are also doing that. Plus, I'm not going to be here for another 30 years. I've done it for 30 years. It's nice to see
we'll
new
keep
people
you here.
coming in.
We'll keep you here for that. We'll be here and we'll keep you here. All right, a very serious set of questions about the updates of the police investigations. I've been here on the radio yesterday and provided some updates. But on this platform, we find out also just share with you now. Now, since we last Kaya on this question of the alleged identity of a certain Joe Snyder, where the police say, then we look at the picture there from open source, the name where they gets Omar Sharif. Father Family will say some updates in the one will be announced two things. One will say the investigation and for ascertain first identity of the individual. Two would also make clear, say, just because an individual stays alone, they don't say don't commit crime and another country will not just arrest them as alone. That's not how it works. That's not how the law works. That's not making it work soon, and that country not making it work soon. Okay? So the country is supposed for reach out to me officially. One of the things that will be frustrated with Naya and the fact that the other country not be don't contact Salon officially. But I can report now clearly for report to us, they don't contact Salon. We may not make clear so we will follow the law and we will follow the process of the law. Alpha announced to now say the person now really in charge of this entire process and the learned, distinguished Attorney General and Minister of Justice, the Right Honorable Alpha Sisi. Well-known, well-respected international lawyer, human rights lawyer, one of the top legal minds of this generation, and they're in charge. In commitment is clear, he could follow the process of the law. Now, I will explain the step within the extradition agreement. I have to make clear to us, I can confirm now, say the Dutch government don't send to reformer papers that will include some details, a lot of papers. The AG in the past week don't review all their papers, and now the Dutch government don't officially ask for sit-down talk with the Sierra Leone government. Now, we tell me they talk today, this is how it's supposed to happen. Or something happen, you reach out to the company, exchange documents, when I discuss, when I figure out the solution. I don't want to let family know something. Salon gets a very long history for collaborating on international crime. We are always willing to collaborate. Even if we don't get extradition agreements with the country in question. In this case, we don't have an extradition agreement with Netherlands, but you know they stop we for look at the facts and follow the process. Just for remind family. The government ain't making money no more. Let them can give me evidence say this person don't go kill, don't commit genocide. God forbid. You know we can no more arrest the person, lock and jail. That's not really happening. Huh? What that? Huh? What that? Ah. Okay. The country not they just grab and do that because law they protect you the individual as well. And what will they do in this case, the AG, they determine say the document they don't get, the evidence will defend the person by. The person commits crime and the country which side the crime happen. The crime where he commits they supposed to also be crime as alone. In this case, like transnational crime, so if the evidence then the AG they make the determination, say based on that evidence, the AG they go courts. They go apply in courts. Say we get evidence now where the government don't determine so for put this person a crime also society for hand over. What go courts as in all court cases, the person get right for get lawyer. When the AG presents the person, no lawyer get right for defendant. I will say, no. I don't want to go for various reasons. When the back and forth don't know the lawyer, they don't go through the process. The judge will rule. When the judge rules, saying we don't meet the threshold, so for hand this person over, the AG still get the power for make a determination based on public interest, public safety, public security, and waiting in the best interest of Salone. For let now execute that request. Why make I can take me time to explain this? Because the media will go ahead and talk, say, oh, this person, so Salone for just left all thing out with the entire police. In fact, somebody can add that they ask and say, they want to film the manhunt. I say, man waiting. So we now, the police will left all two do now. Salone police will put all thing now. We want. We do a fair person. That's also the work. These are diplomatic steps that must be followed. But I want to make something very clear. His Excellency the President is clear. Salone will become a hub for transnational crime. Human trafficking, drug trafficking will not agree. You mentioned a few incidents that were very important. Actually, we support this position when they make. For months now, Salone, almost every month in the last year, now with airports, we were arresting people that really try for smuggled drugs. If we not be conniving, now we arrest. Huh? So we arrest. Consistently, now we airports, now we different airports, no government, months in, months out, we arrest people, confiscate, we bond the drug them publicly, we don't hold press conferences, we don't do the drug and they bond them. By the way, the question we say do the money. Whenever money like that is found, the law very clear, we return that money to the consolidated fund. Maybe we don't know what the pocket. Yeah? So, all the investigation, when they say the investigation, we mentioned the Guinea incident. When the distinguished Minister of Foreign Affairs go Guinea, they sign an MOU with the Guinean authorities, so collaborate on the investigations. Now you're talking about the cross-border investigation. Also something they just make it to me, I can't tell you everything that happen. Sometimes it takes a long time, it's a sophisticated investigation, but also important. The president's commitment is so clear. They don't immediately relieve the minister, the ambassador with the Guinea. As soon as he got back, they don't relieve, I don't send a new ambassador to Guinea. That's somebody really talks, I don't want for connect nonsense or anything, even the idea of it. In investigation, they go. The tell us the ambassador will call a camp so that you can answer questions, and that process they go on. The reason we put IG in the camp every day, obviously the IG get plenty work for them. Sometimes if the news not reach the threshold, they share with me. And I'm a job down there for Canada and go across the media houses as well for explain. When it reach a threshold, as far as the cocaine, Josh, Omar Sharif issue is concerned, it is now a matter that is led by the distinguished Attorney General of the Minister of Justice, Honorable Al-Fasisi, and Honorable Al-Fasisi. They touch with the counterparts in the Netherlands, and they have conversations now on the processes and the steps that they want to take. One thing clear, still the IG not inform me, say they don't find this Omar Sharif. I cannot confirm or say, oh, I don't know who side it. The IG, the last point to begin is still the point. The reason we make the AG they continue this process is AG no need for fair person before they can go seek extradition. Now the law say if the other country reasonably believe say the person they say, we don't need the person, we will go already go get the judgment. They will look for her. Oh, see, I will only have that now. Time not waste time not again. Or we can go through the process for say IG accelerates now that process because now we get an official because if the person is official because the media reports will follow. Yeah? So if I let all one understand that process and know how they. Time not, but I want for do justice and just take the last set of questions and then we have all. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. Let's go.
Okay, so me and Justice Salone from Sierra Fox Media. This question is first go to the Minister. Last week, one of the followers asked question, and one will repeat them again when I'm concerning the former ambassador to Guinea. The try for asking waiting at the how the investigation don't end and what the mind going.
I'll just answer. I'll just take the time, break it down the door.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, sir. All right. So to Professor, sir. So now, one for know what are the accumulative numbers when I don't generate in terms of suspected cases of mpox. And
That never get an answer. Yes, Fox, not get you.
Everything though, I just ask her.
Now, let me man start with cumulative number 38. You answer. You the fast,
I'm brother.
Yes, exclusive. Mr. Kamara, you say you cannot begin this exercise almost a year now. You can tell me how much most them don't look since we have started the question. And Minister Ba, somebody who can see the case there where normally allege somebody say you don't do this as a minister or any other government official. They know they sack that person in the instant. They suspend them, do findings. But in this case, they sack the ambassador. I really want to know waiting at reasons why they sack him. And we tell you, say, when they come with the ambassador, and the brain can allow to see him. We want to know if you can, then as a future year, so that our brain can follow the interaction. Thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Human Sciences, the voice of Sabotage. Madam Minister, in the area of the environment, now we don't lost one dam already when at the Charlotte Dam due to somebody who been house there. And also Guma Valley Dam from Bobo to Guma Valley now 400 meters remain. From mile 13 to Guma Valley now 5 miles remain. From Biobari to Guma Valley now 500 meters remain. It's obviously correct. And now, in the area of the environment, we will try to talk with the man and Mr. Takama and NDAA. How then people they do encroach on that place there? When in the statistics we WFP show from 2023 to 2024, we get 550 hectares of land who we don't lost to land grabbers. How many people they encroach on that? Than one. And what you want to do for protect water source area in the country, because we also don't lost Lake Sunford, where people they don't encroach, they don't mind the they don't mind at the Lake Sunford where they don't be able to really provide water for
Thank you, sir.
I'm able to read Galaxy.
Yes, Galaxy, go on, sir. Inside of the listen. Yes.
First of all, I want to know how many acreage of land we put them on. Then, Professor, the issue of the government workers, the risk salary. How far the payment with regards to the risk allowance? I guess as much we talk about. The risk allowance, the government the risk allowance. How far the payment?
We don't get the question, sir.
Then, Madam Minister, the issue of sand mining in this country. Maybe now it's a twin question. When the Sidon, the good building and the beach inside sand. That sand, you did not see this particular building at the end of the day, destruction. Just like where land.
Question. Time not
they do. How much you don't try for pay attention for make sure see sand mining. If they left for go mine sand, now the water side, and make sure see you save life. The last thing.
No. You want to get on with 3. Yes, last question. Okay.
This Mohammed Kamara Reward, Deputy Minister, sir, just 3 weeks ago, the African Development Bank doled out millions of dollars to 3 African countries: Sierra Leone, Mozambique, and of course Djibouti. Who's our environment guys as beneficiary? Information Minister, sir.
get executive powers therefore hire and sack anybody in field without asking questions from the general public. Now can I ask you, in front of the camera, where does the sacking of the the ambassador in Guinea comes into questions about reasons for sacking? Diplomatically, sir. Thank you.
Takama, you answer the question. Wait, I've been giving this woman the mic. Come on, I'll get the mic. Yeah, let her ask him a question.
Good afternoon. Leone from newspaper. My question will go to Professor. I want to know what's the sign them from inbox and how it affects people.
Thank you. Public health question. Let's start speaking. Professor, yes, wait, then there was another question for you, by the way, they asked me now. 2 radio stations that I go recently, I've been promising I'll check with you, don't forget, so I'm happy with the ask. Question of risk allowance, and I think 117, and on a number that they can see the worker and the strike for payment issues. You are clarify that issue quickly. Malone, listen, please.
The first one of risk allowance. Really, I think, I don't know who would not sign any agreement with any health worker for the risk allowance. So it's new to me. Okay? Or everybody will do like your mandates, your work where they do, where they sign for now they do. So only two they do, will they give people them incentives, put them in a field. Like for example, provide lunch for them, provide fuel for the vehicles. But for say, we'll sign a contract with health workers for risk allowance, no. That is out of the question. Then number 2, the signs and symptoms of the signs of mpox. Definitely, where you don't come in contact with somebody who get mpox, start the water will inside them, take them before a boil, touch you, whatever. It will take like 7 days or so, 7 to 10 days. Then you will begin to get fever. You get fever, you will get body aches. Body aches, you will begin to get swelling of lymph nodes, crying and whatever. Then at the end of the day, you begin to get blisters. My body. So at the science and that day. Then the issue of 117. 117 an outfit to inherit. Government establishes outfit together with international NGOs during the Ebola response. So CDC, Japaibo, other international organizations, and then they pick up 10 people then for actually pay them. But government find out for saying it's not sustainable at all. Therefore, government don't take proactive steps. Because then people they support them, and NGO them will pay them. But then NGO then say that they will continue that any longer. But because of the function that they do, very, very vital, government decide to take on this body for make sure they put them on the government payroll. So the Ministry of Health, the Deputy Minister of Health one, and they did that process, they define the process now for make sure then people that they provided with enrolled and they integrate them inside the payroll of the government. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bala, what's the equation we talk about now? That was your question for Takama and that area there. The protected areas.
Okay. The real question is, if I understand what's Takama Day. Takama Day is the national park. That means Takama is situated within 17,000 hectares, which is the national park. Now, inside the original document where they gave me before we established 31 years ago, there was 200 hectares allocated to set up the sanctuary within the park with chance to expand because it's already within the national park and the sanctuary is not private, it belongs to government. So that answers. What is next is what was declared and handed over to Ministry of Tourism that was as recent as 1.5 years ago, which is about 3,000 hectares of the buffer zone. That is to protect the whole catchment, starting from Takama all the way down to Congo and going up to even very close to Motambile. That steep hill you see for us, that has been handed over as a protected area.
Thank you, sir. So we got some concrete factual information we get. I hope it will be reflected in our news. We're really way out of time, but Mr. Kamala, can to you quickly. You get a few questions about how many hostels were demolished. If you begin updates on land rights now, and then how they protect water sources,
Yeah, water
last year, President gave a mandate. And of course, he talked now with town hall meeting. He said that he say fear don't inside the machine there. He said, but I don't refill them back. When I meet me, what I go say, when I broke them. So this campaign started April 30 last year. For many people destroy all makeshift structures, foundations, as you may want to call them, whether they along waterways and catchment areas. And that basically the military, they give the military the task for carrying on the operations. Most of the structures that we see in the peninsula, along waterways, are makeshift structures. You don't call them houses. You start foundation near water, we they scatter. You start palm body. When they see me in the game guys and they cut palm body, now try chance. Then people are so okay. If they can't force, you can't make small palm body. Yeah. If they see say nobody know touch them, maybe one week, 2 weeks, 1 month. It begin that palm body day with small foundation. So gradually it will end up with a building. So most of what we have destroyed are intentions to put up structures and in those areas. Must not say the park starts right at the highway, but development not take place over the years. Till to the point, even this Benta World meeting, now we have to come up with what? A clear green belt. Not the tell the police and the green belt. It's not our intention to shift it anymore, but what we tell them, say, yeah, nobody they go beyond. You go beyond, we destroy.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Madam Minister, you also get similar questions. Takama, you mentioned about some new World Banking, African Development Banking, specifically to Africa. I would tell you, say normally, as you know, African Development Bank funds given to Ministry of Finance. So the Ministry of Finance and the CBN get that compensation. When they know who sets up, they don't cancel the system now, they call it respective ministries. Also at this stage, correct. So for now, they with the insurance points out the response. I don't think there was another question for you. I think sand mining, yes, sand mining. Yes, so whether you pay attention to that. Just quickly, because we don't really go past time.
Thank you very much. Well, as I say, this goes circular where we do so. And one of the things, the reasons why we repeat this event as to now, for we read awareness, continue for awareness. This is my year business here, so now I will therefore try for sustainability, therefore stop and campaigns, and also for make people able for understand the alternatives and the instead of go use the beach sand, other alternatives and the way people can use. And inside we go circular events where we get that meeting with the beach communities. We express all that and then a lot of valuable ideas as how we just take it as communities and take ownership. Because I say every year now we all get them, not just the Ministry of Environment. Now we all get them. Because when you do Ministry of Environment, go talk, but if you decide to go you decide saying that Sasan, when they can go people that take and if you the people will first you go pay the money. Not the government send you, not the Ministry of Environment send you. Now you say self-goaling for yourself. So this actually what we go for raise awareness. Let people know. But say this beach Sansan road that they don't take. People that visit at the best Sansan and for people. Simply because it's slightly cheaper. If I much difference not there between that beach Sansan pricing and the riverside Sansan. Much difference not there. But what people that understand say there's a lot of risk when you use beach Sansan for vehicles. One, the iron rod they always use is so much where they inside it. In the point in the whole all thing. At the end of the day, you see the host then they collapse, host and they collapse. So that will avoid all that today. Yeah? So the alternatives that will sell is that one, we're able to use the riverside, number one, even use clay blocks as well, and then quarry dust. Now, very good one for being posted, but it be a very strong house, we go last year for now. So we intend for really go on promote a campaign, for this kind of year. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Minister. The final question and the question to me about the ambassador. I think the brother say we still win the ambassador Kale Lucia. I remember making that kind of mistake. I remember no more say, but I can also confirm to you, see the ambassador is alone. And right now, as far as right now concerned, the ambassador are private citizen. Because in position, when at the ambassador to Guinea, currently no that position there because they don't please the fountain of honor, the supreme executive authority, emanated the singular power by the constitution of this country for hire and fire. And by the way, any and all positions now, thanks to the Supreme Court's decision in the case of Alabi Samsumana and the Attorney General Minister of Justice of 2015, no position will protect him. His Excellency the President, he wake in the morning without question, hire and fire anybody at will as His Excellency. Not only make the law, they are really explain to what the law say.
Including Vice Presidents.
On that very high note today, I have to take this opportunity for telling about thank you. As usual, these conversations are also all the benefits for now. This is a part of President Leone's commitment really for them to create a culture of civic engagement and openness, for them to interact with each other. I remember we try to do these sometimes difficult conversations, but in an engaging and fun way, so far we will see that this government is not getting nothing for hide. So I want to tell the Honorable Minister, Madam Soba Stevens, Plenty Tenki, Deputy Minister. Minister.
That's for really now for big, and the hope say we all really there, so we all understand what's going to happen with the environment, and we also take up what we say and say, in as much as how we report news, let we also be the campaign people for drive the environment in case moving forward. One, let we campaign against beach Sunday. Let we campaign against plastic pollution in this country as well. Let we campaign against cutting these trees and outside not supposed to.
Thank you very much.
That will be
so,
campaign.
we allow join the minister for long campaign for protect the environment.
Exactly.
Thanks to you, Mr. Thomas Kamaya, Executive Director of National Protected Agency, Mr. Authority, Mr. Bala Abaya Sikala, Founder and Program Director of Takama, Professor General Polisa, Executive Director for the National Public Health Agency. Thank you to all the partners, ELCO, VSO, Ventures, Life, Sarah for the annual for me, Afro being consistent supporter, UNDP, Ventures, Facebook, Nice, TV, and all that. The Chinese government will also help with technical support as well. And now all we participate and we make sure we meet with people across the country, or we'll meet again next week as well.